funeral director in Jefferson City is behind bars today after being charged with sex crimes against a minor. Good evening. I'm Melissa Zygowitz.
And I'm Megan Kelly. Thanks for joining us. Officials arrested Tyler Woods Friday afternoon. Officers interviewed the female victim and say Woods told the girl he would give her $100 for every cup of alcohol she drank. She passed out and woke up to Woods touching her inappropriately. She pushed Woods away and he drove her home. Woods is being held in the Cole County Jail.
Strong winds caused a small controlled burn to quickly get out of control today, burning 70 acres of grass in northern Boone County. A resident was burning an area for a garden when the winds helped fuel the flames. Crews got the fire under control until the winds picked back up. Boone County Fire Protection District Assistant Chief Gail Blumenkamp says fires like this are typical this time of year because grasses are very dry.
We are encouraging everyone not to do any open burning today. The grasses are dead or dormant, and so there's no uptake of moisture into those plants. So when you have low humidity like we have today in the 30s, we have winds over 10 miles an hour in this dry vegetation, fires can get out of control very quickly.
Blumenkamp says people should check with their local fire department to see if conditions are right for burning and to try to burn late at night or even when it's raining to reduce fire risk.
Head lice can be pesky, itchy, and hard to get rid of. But now a strain of super lice has infected Missouri, forcing researchers to find new ways to get rid of them. Researchers say a new FDA-approved treatment uses heat instead of chemicals to kill lice. Super lice in Missouri and 25 other states are resistant to pesticides found in common over-the-counter treatments. The heat dehydrates lice and their eggs. However, this treatment costs about $170 compared to $20 for over-the-counter treatments.
The number of days students in Missouri are required to attend might change next year. A bill would be heard Monday that would require students to attend school for a total of 1,044 hours each year. School districts would be able to set their own minimum number of school days as long as they meet the hour requirement. Students in Missouri are currently required to attend 174 school days a year.
In more state news, Missouri's Republican gubernatorial candidates spoke out today against Ferguson and the University of Missouri. The candidates spoke at a Q&A session saying the unrest in Ferguson and at Mizzou were handled poorly by school and state leaders. They say Nixon should have been more involved in addressing student protests on campus. The Republicans running for governor are St. Louis businessman John Bruner, former Navy SEAL officer Eric Greitens, former U.S. Attorney and State House Speaker Catherine Hanaway, and Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder. Attorney General Chris Koster is running for governor as a Democrat. 3 men have been charged after a woman was shot on a highway near St. Louis. Officials say the woman was riding in a Jeep Sunday when a stolen Mercedes-Benz pulled up alongside her and fired shots. 3 other people in the Jeep were injured, but police did not say how bad their injuries were. The men were charged with first-degree murder and other charges.
A Missouri State University diversity official is apologizing for discriminating. A student-led group wanted the teacher fired after a complaint was filed accusing him of being biased against black students. The university says it disciplined the teacher and he will keep his job. The teacher was the assistant vice president for multicultural services. The University of Missouri is cutting back on books. The libraries will offer fewer subscriptions to academic journals and databases. An official says the libraries are facing a $1.3 million shortfall this year and expects another $1 million gap starting in July. The lack of funding can be credited to students not passing a $15 per credit hour library fee that would have added $13 million to the library's budget.
The IRS says there are 7 times more victims of taxpayer data theft than it originally thought. The IRS first said cyber criminals stole tax forms from about 104,000 people last year. In August, the IRS updated that number to 330,000. Now the IRS is saying about 720,000 people were victims. Starting next week, the agency will warn the affected taxpayers and offer them free credit protection and an extra PIN number to protect future tax filings. Investor Warren Buffett gave his tax on the economy today. The good news, he says the U.S. economy is actually in better shape than some presidential candidates make it seem. He says, quote, babies being born in America today are the luckiest crop in history. This is part of an annual letter Buffett sends to Berkshire Hathaway shareholders.
Three 12-year-old Florida girls are facing criminal charges after allegedly putting spicy hot pepper in their teacher's drink. Police say one girl distracted the teacher while the other two girls took the drink and put crushed pepper in it. The teacher drank it and started choking and had shortness of breath. Police say the girls spiked the drink because the teacher had disciplined one earlier in the week. All three girls were arrested and charged with tampering with a consumer product and poisoning. A 2-year-old girl is dead today after being burned under a pile of snow in Idaho. The toddler and her two 7-year-old sisters were flown to a hospital after 7 feet of heavy snow slid off a roof and trapped them. It took crews more than 30 minutes to find the girls because of how much snow there was. The two older sisters are in fair condition. Officials say the above average temperatures and snowfall may have played a role in the deadly accident.
We saw a lot of sunshine today, but will it stick around for tomorrow? Let's send it over to Sydney Jackson with a check with the forecast.
And warm temperatures are still continuing throughout the area. Here's a look at the current temps right now in the 50s and 60s, 59 in Columbia, 66 in Jefferson City, Moberly checking in at 59 degrees. Here's a look at your satellite and radar. Saw lots of sunshine today. Skies are going to remain clear throughout our evening and overnight hours. We are going to cool down just a little bit tonight with the low right around 48 degrees, and winds will be out of the south 10 to 15 miles per hour. Continue to be on the breezy side. But coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your Sunday forecast.
The countdown to Super Tuesday is on.
Candidates are gearing up for the big day. We'll have more from the presidential hopefuls later on in the show.
A new website is making travel easier. Coming up, who the website helps to be able to see the world.